Would you rather is the topic for this segment. Let's begin where we have already begun with Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers. If you're Kyle Shanahan, Chris, would you rather explain to your team why you got rid of Jimmy G, or would you rather explain to anyone who cares, and there will be many who do, why you passed on Tom Brady?
Oh, well, okay. So you're just saying with the Tom Brady thing, we're just saying in general, like not necessarily to the team there.
For the rest of your life, having to answer to jerks like us, why didn't you take Tom Brady when you could have? What would you rather have to do?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I still think I'd probably go with explain why I passed on Tom Brady. If I was Kyle Shanahan, you put me in his shoes, I think that's the route I would go. I think you'd have a harder time. You know, hey, again, like we've talked about, Jimmy Garoppolo, he's well-liked on the team. You know, a lot of teammates are going to be going, well, I mean, what the hell? We went to the Super Bowl. We were up 20-10 with 6.5 minutes left. Why do we have to do this? You know, the Brady thing, I think you have more excuses.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you have to do it.
Well, but
because
the Brady thing, you have more
10,
excuses,
and
too.
if you had Brady, you would have won the game. That's why. You said so. You said so.
I know. You're right. This is a tough one. I don't even know. I'm going back and forth on this one. I am. But
yeah, let me give it a try.
Yeah,
let me give it a try. Maybe you'll agree with me. I'm taking a very analytical approach to this. If Kyle Shanahan is at the point where he even has to explain to his team that he's moving on from Jimmy G for Tom Brady, that means that Kyle has, in the application of his infinite football wisdom, and I'm not being sarcastic, the guy knows what he's doing.
Yes, he does.
He comes to the conclusion that Tom Brady gives us a better chance to win than Jimmy G. I have faith in Kyle Shanahan. You don't. I do, that he's going to be able to go into that locker room with 53 guys that he employs and send the message to them that this is how it's going to be. He doesn't have any control over us. He can't change our mind. Their minds can easily be changed because no matter who the quarterback is, we got to put our pads on. We got to go out there and we got to play football, and you're going to play with who the teammates are. Teammates change every year. That's part of being an adult professional football player. So, George Kittle, if you don't like it, you'll learn to like it. Jeff Wilson, if you don't like it, who are you anyway? Get out of here. That's what Jimmy Garoppolo leaving would empower Kyle Shanahan to do.
Well,
I think
you're right. And listen, I don't want to be thrown in that corner you just tried to throw me there. I do believe in my buddy Kyle Shanahan. You know
Get in
that.
that corner.
Well,
I didn't throw you in there.
Well,
you put yourself in there.
Well, you're right. I did. You know, it's a tough one. It really is.
You self-cornered yourself.
Self-cornered thyself. You can't do that. But yeah, it is a tough one. And you make good points there. You definitely do. So I hear you from that standpoint. And the one thing that we know from Kyle Shanahan, about Kyle Shanahan, because we kind of hear it everywhere we go, wherever he's gone, players like him. I mean, minus Roddy White in Atlanta, who just was a bitter guy that got benched and was out of the league that next year. How dare Kyle bench him, all right? Other than that, you can't really find players who don't love playing for Kyle because he is great in those tough situations like you're saying. There is no nonsense. He is like a Belichick where, you know, he's not going to BS you. You're going to get it shot straight at you, and whether you like it or not, that's just going to be the fact of the matter. So he is great that way. That is a really tough one. But yes, I'll stand by my answer for now. I still think it would probably be easier to explain why you got rid of Tom Brady to the masses rather than to your team with Jimmy Garoppolo at that moment.
I'm always in favor of talking to an audience that I ultimately control.
Yeah.
You control the locker room far more than you control anyone else. All right.
Yeah.
Similar topic. If you're Tom Brady, would you rather try to sell your spouse, Gisele Bundchen, as Chris would say, Bundchen as everyone else would say, on living in Nashville or Indianapolis?
Well, I think Nashville is the easier sell. And I, you know, again, I like Indianapolis. Even though I was throwing up there all week last week, I still like it.
Indianapolis doesn't like you.
Yeah, apparently. It was trying to rid me, or rid itself of me. But I think it's an easier sell. I mean, just again, and I don't know Gisele, and neither do you, but she is a superstar and, you know, arguably the greatest model of our era here, right? I mean, she's still raking in the cash. You could sell Nashville. You know, Nashville's got a nickname of Nash Vegas. There's enough going on. It's a growing city. There's plenty of star power there. There's some of the most beautiful neighborhoods I've ever seen in my life in Nashville. So I think that would probably be the easier sell.
Nash Vegas sounds like a character from a really
Nash
bad
Vegas, baby. We used to say that back in the day.
Hey, It never caught on because that's the first time I've ever heard it in my life. Indianapolis is a great town. I love Indianapolis. I hope the scouting combine never leaves Indianapolis, but I think it's going to be easier to sell Giselle on Nash Vegas.
Right.
Yes, Nash Vegas. I've never been to Nash Vegas or to Nashville.
You've never been to Nashville?
I've heard. I can repeat it if you want me to. I've never been to Nashville.
Well,
I know you lived there. I know it's hard for you to conceive of the fact that a place where you actually lived, other people may have never had any reason to go there. I've had no reason to go there.
Well, listen, when you leave like West Virginia, then you could start talking crap about my travels, okay? But when you stop doing the show from your Chateau de Florio, okay, then you could start making fun of me a little bit. But you need to go to Nashville. It's a good weekend trip. I think Jill would like it a lot too. It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, those won't be happening anytime soon. This is one of those moments where I'm very happy to have a house on a mountain, and the truck shows up every day with all the stuff that we don't have to go out and buy. But that's another topic entirely. All right,
man,
Bill
you got
Belichick
trucks delivering you stuff all day, man. You're rich.
Yeah, it's called,
Woo-hoo! Man,
oh, yeah, it's really
bring
high-end
up the Brinks
stuff.
truck. Here you go. Unload your stuff.
Expensive things like soap and shampoo and shaving cream. Yes, we're really spending high on the hog here in West Virginia. All right, Bill Belichick is going to get the key to the city of Annapolis on Saturday. Would you rather get a key to the city or get a street named after you in your hometown?
Oh, that's not even close. I want a street named after me in my hometown. Screw the damn key. I mean, nobody's going to remember you even got a freaking key until you once you walk off the stage. And then what do? You put it on your mantle? Like, whoopee freaking do, okay? Yeah, a street name? Come on. Hey, you make a right hand on Chris Simms Boulevard. Make a right turn on Chris Simms Boulevard. You get up about a quarter mile on Chris Simms Boulevard, and you'll see this house on the left. I mean, come on. Does it get any better than that? You're a staple of a town forever and ever.
Why did you go with Boulevard of all the different things?
I don't know.
I mean, Sims Street makes so
You're right.
It's got alliteration.
Right.
I kind of like Sims Street better.
I do too.
Sims
You're right.
Boulevard. I don't know. Yeah.
If it's just Sim Street, nobody's gonna put it to me. It's gonna be Big Phil's gonna get the credit for that. So the name Christopher or Chris needs to be thrown in there.
I have a slight caveat though, because I agree with you. I would rather have the street named after me, but I would at least like to have a general idea where the street's going to be. Like if it's the street that leads to the garbage dump, maybe I'll take the key to the city.
That sounds like
right?
your street.
I want to know where the street is before I commit to putting my name on the street.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Right.
By the way, there is a Florio Street somewhere in one of the towns like near Oakland. And back in 1985 or thereabouts, one of the street signs came disconnected from the pole. I don't know how that happened, but it was just laying there on the ground, so I took it home. And it's hanging up in my office.
Wow.
So,
Thief.
I'm confessing.
Thief, City of Oakland. Thief.
I'm confessing to the crime 35 years later. I believe all statutes and statutes of limitation have expired. I did steal a street sign that says Florio Street.
I would have done the same. Good for you.
Somewhere between Oakland, like south of Oakland or in Oakland or Berkeley or somewhere around there, one of those towns. But when we were out there for the Super Bowl a few years ago, I was tempted to go steal another one.
Oh, steal the new one? Yeah, but were you going to bring your screwdriver this time and unscrew it and then take it home, or just hope it would fall off again?
Listen, let me just say this since we're going down this street. I can't quite remember how we got the thing off. There may have been alcohol involved that night, which spurred the entire project altogether. I do have this vague recollection of one of my friends hanging from the top of the thing, banging on it with something, and eventually it came off.
So, damn. So
yes.
this was vandalism and thief. City of Oakland.
It was all sorts.
Let me know when you want me to bring this guy in town.
Oakland,
I'll bring him in.
You have no jurisdiction over me, Oakland. All right. If you're Nick Foles, would you rather bet on yourself in a quarterback competition with Gardner Minshew or roll the dice and welcome a trade to an unknown destination?
Wow. I think that I would probably go roll the dice and welcome a trade to an unknown destination. I just feel like in Jacksonville, Gardner Minshew has won over the city and the organization, both, double whammy. And I think that's hard to overcome if you're a guy like Nick Foles. Right now, I would. This is a tough one. It really is. But I think I would rather roll the dice, welcome a trade. Yeah, it's an unknown destination, but you also might get a shot here to be a starter. Somebody sign you as a true starter here, and you don't even have to battle it out with anybody.
Yeah, I agree with you. And look, they clearly want Minshew. I don't know what kind of a competition it's going to be. I think one of the reasons that they kept Doug Marrone as the coach, Dave Caldwell's the GM, they brought in Minshew. And Minshew is the guy they can build around because, look, remember, even though they're only playing 6 regular season home games in Jacksonville this year, more guys are going to show up and more gals are going to show up, more fans, more money, more everything to see Gardner Minshew play, period. He's the guy that has galvanized that fan base, and that's the guy they want playing quarterback. And they want to see what his ceiling is.
Yeah.
Right? What is his ceiling? We don't know. We just started to scratch the surface, maybe. Or maybe he's already at his ceiling. There's only one way to find out. All right. One more, real quick. If you're Derrick Henry, would you rather sign one big contract to be a bell cow running back or take less on a team that has multiple running backs that will extend your career necessarily deeper and deeper than if you go out and run the ball 30 times a game?
Yeah, I know. But, I'm going to go with the first one there, sign one big contract to be a bell cow. The second one, okay, there's too many moving parts. First off, how much less are we talking about, right? And then the other thing I would say, too, is, running backs by committee sound cool until the head coach watches the guy, Derrick Henry, run the ball and starts to go, hey, screw the rest of the committee. Let's keep giving him the ball. He keeps getting 7 yards a carry. And, man, I'm out here on the field, offensive coordinator, while you're up in the box. And, man, it's just they don't even want to tackle him. So I don't know necessarily you would get what you want in the, multiple running backs type of a situation there. I think ultimately he'd become the bell cow once again, too, there. I know we're doing a hypotheticals here, but, yes, I would rather just sign the big contract, get your money, and go from there.
And I really do feel like the Titans didn't draft him with the eye that he would become a bell cow, that they wanted to have multiple running backs. Remember, they had DeMarco Murray.
Yeah.
But when the guy's that good, and that's the thing. You can go in to a season or a game or whatever expecting to use multiple running backs, but when one guy is unstoppable, it's harder to take him off
Mike,
of the
and he
field.
doesn't seem like a running back that you can just give the ball 10 times a game, right? One thing we see as seasons go on, as games get longer, he's better. So to have him split up the carries and stuff like that, I think takes away from what you're really paying for in Derrick Henry.
That's one of the lost realities of the NFL as we get away from the bell cow running back. It hurts so much to get hit by the guy early. You have worn them down psychologically by the fourth quarter, and they no longer want to take the punishment, and all of a sudden you're busting these long runs that you wouldn't bust if you're only getting those 10 carries a game.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.